What is up, good people? Thank you for checking me out here at The Real Counselor's Corner. As always, you can follow me on all social platforms as Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube under the handle at The Real Counselor's Corner. Thank you for checking me out on this late Thursday night, man. We getting it in late tonight at The Real Counselor's Corner. Um, Decided to jump on to kind of, excuse me, jump back to a video I made some time ago about my personal library. I had done a preview video, and talked about how I'm gonna talk about my personal library. It's not much, but it's a library, so I was gonna speak on it a little bit. So never got to that, but tonight what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get into one of my favorite books on my shelf back here. So that's what we into tonight here at the Real Counselor's Corner. So if you got a moment, chill with your boy. You might learn something new. You might learn something, well, not learn, but you might hear something you already know, and maybe you can build on that. But either way, hopefully you leave with something that you can build on, something you didn't know. So tonight, what I'm going to get into is one of my favorite books, and this is actually a collection of poems by Langston Hughes. See that? So this book actually came with a cover. I got it probably about 25 years ago, so don't tell what happened to the cover. But anyway, yeah, Langston Hughes. Let you get a look. Boom. So as you can see, if you can see, several posters throughout the book. I was just thumbing through note cards. Anyway, to show you that the book was actually, and still is actually, used. But I'm not going to focus on the entire book. There's actually one of my favorite poems by Langston Hughes. That's what I'm going to focus on and just talk about that. But anyway, that poem is in this book, of course. Now, you can find several different publications of Langston Hughes, collections of his poems. They've been, published thousands of times by, 1,000 different people. So you don't have to get this book, but I do recommend that you have Langston Hughes somewhere in your home. And if you don't know who Langston Hughes is, of course, I always tell people to Google, but just a couple facts, a couple things you might want to know. Of course, he is an African-American poet, or was an African-American poet. He's very popular, or was a very important piece of the Harlem Renaissance. So if you don't know anything about that, Google that as well. And he's made, hundreds of poems. I Too is one of his well-known poems, as well as the one that I'm going to go over tonight. So Langston Hughes, I'm actually going to read the poem. I'm going to show you the poem while I read the poem, and then we'll go from there. Langston Hughes. Mother to son. Well, son, I'll tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had tacks in it, and splinters, and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor. Bare. But all the time, I's been climbing on, and reaching landings, and turning corners, and sometimes going in the dark, where there ain't been no light. So boy, don't you turn back, don't you set down on those steps, 'cause you find it's kinda harder. Don't you fall now, for I still going, honey, I still climbing. And life for me ain't been no crystal stair.